making her story. We always invite ladies that are in the real estate industry in Mazatlan that are changing their own stories. And I'm beyond thrilled to present a lady that I know everyone in Mazatlan knows, either because of her yellow car or because of real estate, for sure. But not only that, it's this woman that is just next to me has just received a prize for winning like top #2 on a national level in Keller Williams on gross commission income. So, Cheryl.
Thank you, Fernanda. Well, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm always a little bit nervous, and then I start talking and I don't shut up, so I'm warning you.
No, I'm sure everybody wants to know. So, first question. So how did you get to real estate in Mazatlan?
Well, it's kind of a long story, and I used to work in marketing in timeshare, and I left that job, and there wasn't a lot of things that I could do as a foreigner and maintain my standard of living. So I went for an interview with RE/MAX Sunset Eagle. It was a 5-hour interview. I asked Flavio Michel, the owner, who was the #1 in his office at that time, and he said Sean Klinstra, and I go, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to be #1, and guess what happened? But now Sean is the owner of Keller Williams, where I currently work, so it all worked out really well. A lot of people said to me, well, you know a lot of people in Mazatlan. I do. I worked in timeshare, which had nothing to do with it, but my goal was always to be #1. My biggest competition has always been myself. I set high goals and standards for myself, and I achieved it. And I have to say, the reason why I achieved it is because of my clients. They always come first, no matter what. I have a reputation in Mazatlan that I'm a little difficult to work with, which is true, I am, but it's to protect my clients and take care of them, because they are the most important part of this job.
I love what you're saying, and I'm going to quote you, because you have, not only have you said this to me, but you have said it several times, that real estate is your passion.
Oh, yeah.
How does that look in your everyday life?
Well, I'm fortunate because not everybody works in something that is their passion. This is truly my passion. What a wonderful job I have to find somebody's castle, as we say in English, or to help somebody sell their property so they can go on to the next step of their lives. I mean, it's for me, it's pure joy. It's not like a job. I do it night and day. It doesn't matter. Every day of the week, every day of the year. It's just my passion. I love it. And yeah, so it's my passion. You can tell, right?
You can tell. And
Mazatlan and real estate is my passion.
And I think the clients can tell. Like, one of the best parts about when Sharon and I were talking about her new price, like the reason, it was the clients' answer rate and what they were telling. You could read on Facebook, it was not only colleagues, but it was mainly clients saying that you were #1, that they agreed, that they would fight for the other spot. Like, I think your work speaks for itself.
Yeah,
and I think they can sense that.
Yeah, and I think that that's why I'm successful. It's never been about the money. Of course, the money comes. It's always trying to find the perfect property for the client in what they're looking for, not what I'm looking for, in their price range, not in my price range, not ever thinking about my commission in my pocket. I just never have done that, ever. Money comes. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I love what I do, and there's nothing more satisfying to me than when I find somebody their perfect property, or I sell their property and they can move on and do something different. It's, to me, that's what it's all about.
And, going back to setting up your own goals, which you keep, breaking, we are now, and in the States, they are already talking about this shifting market. So how are you doing it to keep your goals up? Like, because that's impressive. You keep breaking your own standard while we are acknowledging that there's something outside happening, right?
Well, at the beginning of COVID, I said to myself, you know what? We're going to soar. We're going to soar. Even though we're in lockdown, we're going to soar, because I thought, this is really teaching a lot of people a lot of things, and it's like people want to be where they want to be. Life is too short. Fortunately, that did happen. Fortunately, I broke all my records, my personal records last year, when I had 47 transactions.
In a year.
In a year. And some days I was walking around like a chicken with my head cut off, but I have an excellent assistant. Her name is Paulina Landin Torres, and I could never do it without her. She is even becoming famous in Mazatlan for her work ethics, the way she works, and she's on top of it, and she doesn't even live here. But what happened in the course of that is that we are very low on inventory. There just is no inventory in Mazatlan, and I've never seen it like that. So I keep saying, okay, I want to break my record for last year. And then I'm like, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. Like right now, I think I have 30-some transactions. It's in the 30s. But that's not enough to break my 47 transactions last year. It's not. And the problem is, we have buyers, we don't have the inventory, and that's the problem. But I'm gonna do it.
I know you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna get to those conversations with those potential sellers.
Yeah.
But let's go back about Paulina, because definitely I think Paulina owes space in this interview. So here's the deal. We have this idea, well, not all of them, but like socially, that the company that looks the bigger, the team that looks the bigger, those are the ones that are really breaking it. And something that I love about your story is the fact that it's you plus Paulina, and you guys broke it.
Yeah.
Like national level.
Yeah.
How do you guys work?
She puts up with me. That's a fact. And I'm pretty like this, but she's been my friend for like 25 years. I was in Mexico City for my health checkup. Those of you who don't know, I've been through cancer twice. The last time was very, very, very serious. She always helped me with that. She planned my whole trip to Mexico City. You're going to go here, you're going to do this, you're going to take this test, you're going to pick it up here, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to pick it up at the airport, blah, blah. She did everything. Even 5:30 in the morning, my breakfast in bed. I mean, she did everything. She took me to all my radiations, an hour each way. She was there for me night and day. So I knew that and because I had worked with her also, I knew that she had the ability to do the job and not actually be in Mazatlan. Mm-hmm. She's like, do you think I can? I'm like, yeah, you can. I mean, she'd never done it, and I'm telling you, she has become famous here. The notarios love her, the bank trust companies love her, everybody. She knows how to talk to people. She's nicer to them than I am, I always tease her about that, but it's true, and she's very efficient. And one of the ways that I've done training or teaching people, it's like I will say, okay, Paulina, what do you think the solution to that problem is? Because for two reasons. Or I'd say, okay, Fernanda, how do you think we should do this? For two reasons. Number one, I want people to use their mind and think. But also, they might tell me something that I never thought of, which I think is really important, and that's how you learn. And that's another thing. A lot of times when you are a top producer in any kind of sales position, you think, oh no, I'm number one and I know everything. Well, I know a lot only because of experience. But I know that every day I can learn something new from anybody, everybody. A new person can walk in the door, they can teach me something. And I think that really keeps you humble and stable or grounded. Although it's a fine line, because you're confident, you know you're the best, you know you're number one.
You need to sell that to people.
Well, and they know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, except for I was a little bit disappointed when KW headquarters called me and said I was number two.
We're gonna break it.
No, I said to her, first of all, I thought she was calling for a property, so I kept on telling her to call me back because I was busy. And then when she told me that, I said, well, I'll accept number 2, but I don't like it.
I'll take it, but I don't
She
love
was
it.
laughing, but number 2 is really good. But again, it
It's
goes
amazing.
to my standards and my goals and the way I work and who I am. But again, I could never achieve any of that, none of it, without the client. They're the best. They're the most important. And I have clients that have become great friends. I have clients that I'm still helping them every day.
And I think that's a lot because we always talk in real estate, you know, about transactions and clients, but in a more, you know, like it's over the next one. And something that I love about you is like you actually develop a relationship. They actually know you. They actually trust you. They actually would go back to you.
Yeah. And I'm grateful. I have clients that I hadn't seen or talked to in 10 years that come back and I'm honored. I'm grateful. I'm at a point in my career that I do need to pound the pavement. You never stop doing that. You don't just get a listing because you're Cheryl Gamble. You have to still work for that listing. But I have buyers coming to me all the time, and then I'm like, how did you know? Or what, you know, like, or they'll
Where do you find me?
yeah, how do you find me? And because I do that, I ask why for one reason. If somebody told them about me, I pay referral fees, and that person deserves, I need to know who sent them to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's becoming, you know, more and more, and yeah, I'm just really happy. I love my job.
I know you do. And something that it's amazing, like she already talked about her friend, like Paulina, but she also has a son, and you also make time for that. In all of your busy schedule, you also make time for family. How do you do that? Because there's people outside saying like, I cannot control my timing. How do I deal with time management?
Well, time management is really important.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize. And, you know, my son doesn't live here. He's going to university in Canada. But when he's here, he's outside waiting right now. He didn't want to come in. He's 21. He just turned 21. I try to go on trips. We just got back from Las Vegas. But, you know, when you have a child at that, or child, a
20-year-old child,
they don't want to spend as much time with you. But when I started in real estate, I think he was 7 years old. And, you know, I'd have to coordinate it with my husband. And, you know, later he became a realtor, so we had to coordinate it together. But my son also was in the back seat of the car, being quiet, while I was taking clients around. Like, he knew.
Wow.
You know, like, and he knew. And he also was like, he would ask, how come so-and-so has that sign up there? You know, and he started at really young, or like, Mom, you need to make a car the shape of a house. You know, like, he started young. And then at one point, he would help me by showing properties, and he sold some for me. So,
really?
Yeah, and he
Oh,
did the
that's
same thing
awesome.
for his dad, but he's not a salesperson. But, you know, he's pretty laid back, so it works. So, yeah, I guess when you have to have, you know, when you have to prioritize. I'm going to use this time for my family. I'm going to use this time for my clients, because I have a huge social life. Like, I'm out and about. I go out with people and clients that become friends probably 5 to 6 times a week.
I know.
I love it. And I love it. You know, I love it. And you know, my son said to me yesterday, you have more of a social life than I do. It's because I live in Mazatlan. Mazatlan is the best place for that, you know? And that's another thing, you know? I mean, there's a magic in this city that you can't explain. And, you know, the people, they open their hearts and their homes to us, and they make us feel wonderful. And my life definitely changed once I moved here. And I moved here in 19...
And you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. It was because of the people. It was 1985, and when I moved here, I came in 83, 4 times, and then I said, no, this is where I want to be. Sometimes when I'm showing properties, people will say to me, are you selling Mazatlan or this condo? And I'm like, Mazatlan first.
I was going to
condo
say
second.
that. I mean, I think that's huge because you are living that story too.
Oh yeah, and you know, when I came in the 80s, it was Senior Frogs and Wild Times, and I was involved in all that. And now in 2022, it's the seniors, and I'm involved in that. So I have an amazing, great life, and I'm full of gratitude.
Okay, so we know you want to break your record. We know you're going to do it. Well, I know you're going to do it. But what is next for Cheryl Gamble?
Well, eventually I'll probably open my own office.
Okay.
Why? Because it's the next step. But that's one thing I like about Keller Williams. They encourage you to do that. They don't hold you back. I love that about it because, like they say, Gary Keller says, think like a CEO. Well, that's what they teach you, and they don't get mad if you move out on your own, or they don't, ostracize you or whatever. So I like that. So eventually I'll probably open my own, and I won't go with the brand. Like I've been in Remax and KW, I'll just be Cheryl Gamble.
Your own brand.
Yeah, I already have my brand, and I have a group of people that are just waiting for that to happen. I'm not ready yet, but I think it will be the next step. I won't have an office that has hundreds of agents or whatever. I want small, intimate group. I tell them, I expect you to work to the best of your ability. You don't have to be a top producer, but the best of your ability. And the clients have to be number one. I'll teach you how, I'll show you how, I'll be there. I won't take commission from you if I go and help you get a listing or sell or whatever. I just think it's the next step. It's not because it's because it's the next step.
Gotcha.
But I don't know when.
Okay.
And that's not a secret. Everybody knows that.
No, I know.
And the reason why it's not a secret is because I can be open with stuff like that here at Keller Williams.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah, you, Sean, and I have talked about it, and they actually encourage you to do that, which is kind of, like, how do you encourage your top producer to leave, but it's all good. There's enough business for all of us in this city.
Yeah.
There is. I'm thrilled we're going to be getting the license. That has been coming for a long time. I'm thrilled because it's really hard to overcome things that some of the other people are telling them. I was at breakfast the other day waiting for my son. I was horrified by what I was hearing. This woman talking to a person that I knew about her realtor has been doing this for 20 years. She's the only person in Mazatlan with a license. I'm like, what kind of license?
Exactly.
I found out who it was, and I said, well, that person's actually a friend of mine. She hasn't even lived in Mazatlan for 20 years.
Just so you know.
Yeah. And I'll be really happy. Then we all have to follow guidelines. There will be consequences for things that are done properly or done wrongly against clients, and so I'm thrilled.
Me too. Because I think, like you said, clients are the first.
Yeah.
We need to put them there. And sometimes it's hard because we are a community and we are not always going to be able, well, you can, but we are not always going to be able to close ourselves both sides. So
no, but that's the whole situation, because a lot of times you have both. You have one side, the buyer or the seller, and the other realtor has the buyer or the seller.
Exactly.
And some of the things that they do, oh my gosh. And that's where my reputation starts, because I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's not right. And that's another thing that I try to instill in the other realtors. You always have to think about your side and your client, because that's who you work for. But you have to think of the big picture. You have to think of the big picture to get it done. So you have to think and make it fair, but of course, my client's always the most important. I'm always going to work harder. If I'm on both sides, I stay right in the middle. I tell the buyer what the seller said and vice versa, because of course it's unprofessional. Plus, there's privacy laws in this country, And so, so I'm thrilled that we're going to have a license.
Okay.
I hope I don't fail it.
Come on. It's just not going to happen. One tip to someone that is about to start their real estate career.
First of all, real estate is not 9 to 5. It's not hee hee hee, ha ha ha, I'm gonna show this property, whatever. It's not 9 to 5. If you think it's 9 to 5, then you shouldn't be in it. Also, again, always think about the client. The client comes first. But of course, I've had clients that have gone too far and they expect too much or whatever. You have to set your boundaries too. Yeah, it's
and
hard.
Be clear on expectations.
You have to be clear on everything. Be transparent, as we say here. But also go out and have a good time. You know, go and have a good time. You go to pick up your client. You know what song I put in my car when I pick up my clients? The Corrida de Mazatlan. I play the Mazatlan song.
Awesome.
Always. And that breaks the ice. And then I'm like, you know what? Okay, come on. Let's go have some fun. Have fun. It's a fun job. You know? Just go have fun.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for doing the interview. Thank you to everyone
Thank
that's
you for
watching.
listening.
Please follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook. You have also a group for foreigners.
Oh, it's not a group for foreigners. It's a group.
It's a group.
It's called on Facebook, it's called We Love Mazatlan, Mexico. I started it because I love Mazatlan, Mexico. I do not allow negative comments or any negativity because I love my city. And there's enough blogs out there already with that stuff. So you can join. If you put a negative comment, I delete it. If you are really negative, you get deleted. And the other thing is, I don't allow real estate on the page. Why? I didn't want people to think I started the page about my city and my people and my country, that it was to get clients and business. I started it because I love Mazatlan. So it's called We Love Mazatlan, Mexico. And you're more than welcome to join.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fernanda.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.